Hello everybody, welcome to my next video. I'm a little bit overdressed for this weather today, but I thought I'd venture out of my bedroom and do this video somewhere a little bit different. So I'm here in a lovely little area of Punta Arabi, where I found randomly whilst I was walking one day. So here we are. We're outside and I've been trying to make this video now for 4 weeks. And I've not been happy with the lighting, I've not been happy with the sound, so I've decided to venture out and see what happens. Now, because I'm filming on my GoPro, I don't know what's going to happen, but let's wait and see. So today's date is the 11th of October 2016. Now, if you don't know what that means, it's National Coming Out Day. National Coming Out Day was founded, I think, from what I remember reading, was 1988. And it was a chance for everybody to unite within the kind of LGBTQ society. So it was a chance for people to kind of stand strong together and recognise who they were. Now I wanted to use today as a chance to do a different kind of video, because I always usually do videos about things I'm getting up to and what I'm doing, but I've not really done a really personal video yet, so that was the reason why I'm doing this video today. So if you haven't guessed it, National Coming Out Day, the reason of this video is to tell everybody that I am gay. Now, doing a video about coming out is weird, because I've never thought I would ever do a video like this, because of the industry I work in, because of the kind of all that kind of stuff. I thought I'd take this opportunity to kind of tell you my coming out stories, and the good and the bad. So anyway, people walking about. Anyway, whenever I try and film, I'll get this off my chest, whenever I try and film, there's always something that comes into the shot. But anyway, we'll carry on. I want this to be as rough as possible, so here we go. And less edited as possible as well. So first coming out story is quite interesting, because it was with my dad. Now I had a best friend at the time at school. We must have been in 15 or 16? 16, I'm going to say 16. And we were great mates. We really found each other at a kind of an interesting time of our lives, and we kind of had a lot in common, and we were really kind of helped each other through things as well. It was about the same time my parents had just broken up as well, and I had a really good friend. She was a female friend, and her name, and she was lovely, and she's great, and I think she's an amazing person. And we were best mates, and it was typical, Dad's driving me back from seeing her that night, and started asking those questions about the fact that, are you going to get married? When are you going to take it to the next step, so to speak? Are you going to start dating, all this kind of stuff? And I always said, and I always will say, she's my best friend. We're never going to go any further than that. And then he just came out with it. He came out with the fact, she was like, oh, does this mean that you fancy boys? Is this because you're going to date men and all this kind of stuff? And it was one of those experiences where you wanted to run away from it as quickly as possible, and I just could not believe it was happening. If I had the ability to open the car door and jump out, I would have jumped out. And of course it ended up in an argument and shouting, and finished with me saying, look, I don't want to talk about it, what happens happens, let's see what happens. And you watch these TV shows, you see all these kind of coming out stories and stuff like that, and it was one of those times where you just really didn't, I wasn't ready. I was too young to come out. I had come out to friends and family, and come out to friends, but I had not come out to my family yet, and I don't think I was ready. And I kind of always had it in my mind that the day that I come out to my parents was when I knew that I was settled, and I could show them that I was in a committed relationship, and I was sorted, and I was happy, and all this kind of stuff. And I didn't want to just kind of come out and be like, right, well, I'm gay, now what happens, kind of thing, which has always been an awkward situation. So because most probably the reason why I've always thought it being awkward is the fact that I've always wanted to be that kind of well-rounded, well-established kind of person, and I think now I'm getting older, I realise that that's going to take some time to kind of get to that point. so that's my dad. And then my mum, on the other hand, was even more funnier, because I'd moved out by now. I had been 18, 19 now, kind of in university, and I had one of my first proper boyfriends, and everything was going well. I still didn't really know who I was, and I think that's another thing that I could talk about in a whole other video, about the fact that, like, you go to university thinking you could be this new person, you change and you have new clothes, you want to be this different person, and you want to kind of just be your person that you're away from home and all that kind of stuff. And with doing that, I'd met new people, I started dating and started going on dates and started having relationships and stuff like that. And I had one really strong relationship which, looking back at it, yeah, it was alright, but I knew I was still not myself within that relationship. But it hit me hard when we broke up. It really hit me hard, and it was a really awkward situation, and still love him to bits, but we were in different places and all that kind of stuff. And the reason I'm saying all of this is because basically when I broke up, my sisters knew before my parents. So, like, my sisters have known for quite a while, I think, that I was gay, and I've never really brought it up to my parents yet. And then my sister decided to accidentally out me to my mum by saying Matt's going through like this breakup and stuff like that. So I get a text from my sister saying, just to let you know, I think I've just outed you to mum. Which then, next time I go home for a holiday, I get the sit-down conversation about what happened, how did it go, all this kind of stuff, and I'm thinking, again, this is not what I wanted it to be. But it makes me realise, like, talking about all these kind of situations, like, nothing ever happens the way you picture it's going to happen, and the less you think or overanalyze or try and make a situation happen the way that you want it to happen, it's never going to come out that way. So it's better to do this whole live for the day, not for tomorrow, or not for the day before. So yeah, so as you can see, I've never actually had a proper coming out. I've either been outed and all that kind of stuff. Now this all started because, yeah, okay, so I knew that I was gay from a young age, and yes, I did try and have a girlfriend, which went horribly wrong. And do you know what, if I look back at it now, I wish I didn't do that, because I hurt someone who was really nice to me. But again, that could be another video. But yeah, so my actual coming out, when I actually came out, was when I must have been year 9. Now, I always knew I was a little bit different and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, I was at school one day. I used to get bullied quite a bit because I was overweight, I was odd, I was dorky, I was just completely different, and I knew I was different just because of who I was and what I was doing and all this kind of stuff. And one day it just got to me, and someone said in, I think it was an English or a maths class, someone just said, "You're gay, right?" And I was like, do you know what, yeah, I am, so what if I'm gay? And then it went around the school like wildfire, and then from there it just got a little bit worse, and I got very lonely very quickly. Looking back at it, going back to my kind of hometown and seeing a lot of the people that were in the closet and didn't really come out, or it wasn't an issue when they came out, well, they didn't come out at school and stuff, I now go back going, it's nice to see that you've actually come out now. And yeah, so I got bullied a hell of a lot for being different and all that kind of stuff, but I definitely think it's made me a stronger person. It's made me kind of want to go out there and do my own thing. But I think what I'm trying to get to at the end of this story is that coming out is a good thing, and yeah, it does give just kind of take that weight off your shoulders and stuff like that. But like I've never wanted to be one of these kind of people that is like, it's all about being gay and all this kind of stuff, because it's not. And at the end of the day, like, I want people to realise who I am for who I am. Like, I am a person, my name is Matt, I'm not gay, and I don't want to be I've never wanted to be pigeonholed or put in a box. But yeah, it's good to kind of be truthful and be open to yourself and all that kind of stuff. And as I got older and when I went through university and went through jobs and all that kind of stuff, yeah, I was very more openly gay to the people that I worked with and my friends and close family and stuff. But I was still never kind of 100% out at work, because if you've not gathered, the industry I work in is hotel entertainment, and it's not like people are coming to watch me for who I am. They're coming because they're on holiday and they expect us to entertain, and we can't really have personal opinions because, again, you don't want to cause arguments whilst people are on holiday. So I've kept my kind of my home life and my backstory kind of a bit more private and secret, because, again, like, when people are on holiday, you're there to kind of entertain them, make sure they have a great time. They've paid money for some sort of entertainment they think of in their head, and it might not be what you're offering, so you need to work extra hard to make it work. And I've heard like horror stories of people who are openly gay within this industry, and they've had bad times within the kind of clientele group that I work in. So I've always kind of kept it as like a kind of backstory, and if people have ever asked me if I'm in a relationship, I've always kind of said yes, partner. But then if they've said, oh, have you got a girlfriend, have you got a wife, I've always gone yeah. And yeah, it's been bad that I've kind of had those kind of little white lies and stuff like that, but that's because I still feel like we're in a world where things like that are still quite hard to face within a working environment. And at the end of the day, it's my job at the end of the day, and it's not all about all that kind of stuff. So it's been an awkward situation, but I think in anybody's situation, like, when you want to come out, it's your time and it's your chance to kind of do what you want to do, and you should only do it really when you're ready. And I don't ever think of pushing people out or thinking people should come out and like forcing people to come out, because you know what, they'll do it when they think it's right, and they'll do it when they're happy to do it and when they know it's the right time for them. And that's what I've always said about myself. Like, when I'm happy to tell you that I'm gay, I'll tell you that I'm gay, and hopefully this is now. So being 29, I've done quite a bit of life experience. I've gone through a couple of ups and downs, and hopefully onwards and upwards, but I'm ready to kind of celebrate the fact that I am gay, and I'm happy to be who I am, and yeah, take me of who I am and not just a label. And if you want to give me a label, the label can be met. But yeah, hopefully that all makes sense. I feel like I've just rambled on for about 10 minutes, so yeah, but hey, happy coming out day, everybody. I hope you've had a great time. As you can see, I do like to ramble, but yeah, leave me some comments below, tell me what you think of the video, and I'll talk to you soon. See you in a bit. Bye.